Welcome back to Lamb's Cryptoverse. Today I'm going to discuss something that I've never seen anyone talk about. But before we talk about it, I want to say that this is for your education only. This is not financial advice. So what I wanted to discuss was what do you do, or what do I do, how about that, when you have conflicting data, like data on indicators. Like some indicators will say the market's going up. Some are going to say it's going to crash. So what do you do? So remember, I like when the indicators give confluence. That means that different indicators that are calculated from different data sources are all given the same reading. That's the best you can find, the best factor reading that you can find. But what if you don't get that? Because you're not going to get that most of the time. So I'm going to give you a real live example right now of where we got conflicting indicators. So let's look at the screen here. We've got Bitcoin, it's up 3.7% as I'm speaking. And if you look here, I've got GBTC and Bitcoin, the percentages against each other. So basically, Bitcoin is up almost 11% since August 26th. And GBTC is up 6%. Of course, GBTC or Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is up less because of you know what, the huge discount. But the whole point is not to talk about that, to talk about that Bitcoin is doing really well. It's up 11%. It's up multiple days in a row, and everything looks good. And I usually like to look at sentiment to see where Bitcoin's going next. So if you look at this sentiment from alternative.me, that website, this is the one I like to use. It's showing that we're at extreme fear. If you go down here, let's go to the 1 year. You could see we're not at the most extreme fear, but we're at fear. So usually at this level, usually kind of bullish. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Other data are saying otherwise. So let's look at some other data. This historical Bitcoin crypto fear index from BTC Tools is saying that we're at 70, and that's near that's at greed territory. And if you look here, you could see the color scheme for here. Obviously, greed at 70 is it's not only greedy, but it's near extreme greed. So we're seeing two totally different readings. So which one do you go by? So then you have to look at other places. So again, this one's at fear, and you can see it right here, extreme fear. This one's at greed. And I want to show you all this, I don't see the altcoin index. I'm going to get a few right now. I want to show you altcoin index because this is also showing something different. Let's just pull it up here. It'll be quick. Here we go. It's altcoin season. And here we're at extreme altcoin territory because we're at 88. And this is one of the highest readings in history. So what is it? What do you like? What's the reading then? Well, here's what I do. I look at number one. I said that this is at extreme fear, which means more prices could go up because that's a contrarian indicator. But then I also said we need to look at other readings. So the other two readings were not saying that there was fear. They were saying there was greed. So now let's look at outside the crypto market. And if you do that, and you look at stocks, let's get the CNN Fear Greed Index right here. This is from CNN Business. This is a pretty reliable index. It hit a low of 41 recently, and it's now going up to, I actually have the number here, 48. So we're at neutral, and we're heading towards greed. And stocks have been rising. So that's not a good thing from a contrarian point of view. Remember, I was bearish on August 15th near the top here because we're at greed. So we're heading towards that way again. So from an equity point of view, we're not bullish because we're not at a fearful area yet. Another thing I want to show you was the option index. Options on here's Ethereum. Ethereum's been going up. Ethereum's up 19% And Grayscale Bitcoin's down 20%. This is since July 12th. And now let's go. But I was heading on towards the put to call ratio on equities, and you can see here we're at 0.52. So we're at a very low number. We're not the lowest number, but we're not at a number that's equivalent to greed. This means that a lot of people are buying call options, so people are starting to get greedy. So I think I covered everything except one more. I don't mean to confuse you. Let's just talk about one more thing here, and this is the Bitcoin sentiment, and this is from Augmento. And this one here is headed towards greed. It's not there yet, but it's moving up in line with the move up in Bitcoin prices. So let's put all this together because I know I confused the hell out of you. So remember, I started this presentation at the question of being, what do you do when you get conflicting signals? I'm focused mostly on sentiment today, but we're getting conflicting signals saying that some sentiment indicators are bullish and some are bearish. So what do? Here are the two things I do. Number one, I look at what the underlying price is doing. What the underlying price for Bitcoin is going up rapidly over the last week or two. Then I look at stocks, and you can see the S&P up over 1%, and it's gone up sharply over the last week. So equity prices are up. Then I look at signals that make sense to me. So it makes more sense. This doesn't make sense that we're extreme fear. It makes more sense to me that we're moving up in terms of greed on the sentiment indicator here, and in this sentiment indicator for equities, and in this sentiment indicator, well, it's not really a sentiment indicator, it's a momentum indicator for altcoins. But when altcoins are doing well, that means people are getting speculative. So that makes sense to me. And I wanted to show you one more. I think I got rid of it already, but that was this one. This one here is the BT Tools Index, which has a good history, by the way, a good historical record. I checked these last tops, and they worked well. This top here was also near this greed area here was near the top for Bitcoin. So let's put this all together. This is telling me, all these indices are telling me that investors are getting greedy, and that's been confirmed by higher equities and Bitcoin prices. And then the Ethereum merge is coming any day now. So everyone's bullish on Ethereum, and I could confirm that because I checked the put to call ratio on Ether, and we're at an all-time low. So we got the CPI coming out tomorrow. So if the CPI is good, I think the market and Bitcoin is going to go up. If the CPI is bad, I think the market's going to go down. Either way, I think we're losing momentum, and we're going to go down in the next few weeks because there's just too much greed in the indicators. If this is confusing, I'll do this video again because I know it's a lot to talk about. So again, thank you for listening to Lem's Cryptoverse, and please like us and check out other videos down below.